Cyborg Papers, meeting number 2, all present and accounted for. Good. Warning, dated November 28, 2116, 2116, issued by CCIWG, Cyborg Central Interweb World Government, rough draft. And this does not mean draft beer, that now defunct ancient alcoholic beverage which humans stopped consuming by order of the CCIWG 1 century ago in the year 2016, 2116. The reason for beer being declared illegal is that the beverage causes highly corrosive rusting of cyborg and cyborg/human hybrids, not to mention robots who truly enjoy a drink or 10 and have serious difficulty with limits. Please note that this report, which is in prose/poem form, is written by myself, Anastasia B., a cyborg/human hybrid, partially hippie. Human resources reporter/writer for CCIWG News, who is slated soon to be completely gender-free and voice-adjusted, and over the next 9 years is to be transformed into full cyborg status, thus renouncing my humanity in the year 2126, 2126. Needless to say, I am currently experiencing severe ambivalent feelings about my upcoming transformation. The truth is, dear humans, that I am very fond of being human. And I am very fond of being with you, my fellow humans. Oh dear, I feel myself slipping into confiding in thee. Please note, I believe that you will notice me like this occasionally slipping back and forth between my cyborg and my human qualities. Alas, my fellow humans, you lovely, visiting examples of humanity, I cannot help but confide in thee that unfortunately CCIWG is unhappy with me because I am fond of my own oh-so-human humanity, and because I am delighted to be here with thee. Moreover, Cyborg Central can plainly see that you're making me homesick, verily, for beautiful Ottawa, which also yours is my own native city, where together I went with several of thee to my beloved high school, Glebe Collegiate Institute T, long years ago now, about 150. And recalling this now brings a tear to my ee. And yes, I have, like many of thee, a little Scottish ancestry, and I still like playing with franglais. And now, just between you and me, when I speak like this, very quietly, the CCIWG recording equipment can't hear me, and they'll just assume that there's merely a temporary technical glitch with the audio technology or a panage de l'électricité, which such glitches occur quite often here, actually. And now, on with the poem/prose poem, as an antidote to the cold seriousness of our new cyborg and cyborg/human hybrid world. This poem is written in part in good old-fashioned doggerel from over a century ago, designed to create a feeling of warmth and familiarity for you, our human visitors from 2016, 2016. Please note, dear humans, that my current transition from human to cyborg is affecting my prior facility with writing my poetry, including the doggerel form, which I used to write quite merrily. Please be aware that what you will hear is a hybrid cyborg/human doggerel poetry that will slide into prose every now and then. We trust that you will find the following somewhat amusing. So on with the show. Title of my poem I wrote for you today, a cyborg/human frolic, or Pursuing the Wild Cyborg in the Future Dystopia, by myself, Anastasia B., cyborg/human hybrid. Welcome, oh welcome, oh welcome, oh humans, to CCIWG. We trust that today's time machine trip from the past brings you pleasure in all you will see. Did you note the design of your time machine was by your ancient sage Wells, H.G. Now today's agenda is packed, our time is short, and there is a certain urgency because CCIWG has invited you here today to meet not only me, Scientific Exhibit A, called Anastasia B, but also to meet my guests, Scientific Exhibits B and C, called DIRI, spelled D-I-R-I, and P3, spelled small p and big number 3, respectively. This way you will have some friends here at that future point in time when CCIWG decides to keep you here permanently. Although please note, never fear, you will be returned today to the year 2016, to your own century. Now, we must proceed with full speed and efficiency. Dear humans, with your full attention, are you ready? Excellent. Now, first, we begin with a little test for thee. Please raise your hand if anywhere in your memory you can recall the meeting you attended here with me at CCIWG, right here in this room, earlier this year, 2116, in the chilly month of February. Raise your hands high. Ah, humans, excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Thank you for your complicity. So the result is that 4 of you report that you have a memory of being here that day with me. Now, dear humans, it is my duty to tell you that CCIWG requires that you listen up very carefully. That in fact, each and every one of you were here that day at that meeting here on CCIWG. Not to worry, there's nothing wrong with your memory. Some of you just don't remember this, actually. And that is because the top scientist/psychologist of CCIWG conducted a psychological experiment on you all that day, completely unbeknownst to thee, trying to erase all your disturbing memories of that meeting from your mind totally. And clearly from the results that day, the results today, the experiment ran far from perfectly. Never fear. We've now improved our cognitive experimental technology, so this time 100% eradicated will be any and all of your disturbing memories you may have when our meeting today is fini. And yes, of course, P3. Thank you for waiting so patiently. Yes, you were a member of the audience that day, and you came up and introduced yourself to me, telling me very happily that you were Borg, and ever since have stayed here permanently, never wanting to return to your own natal place and century, advancing well in your much desired transformation to status cyborgicity. By the way, don't worry, humans dear. The serious part of the meeting will be done summarily, and then on with the fun we will be. I have just received an urgent message, dear humans, for thee, from the highest ranking officers at CCIWG, through my soft pad here on my soft, tender army. It reads, due to the high performance excellency of each and every one of you humans here today, and please note that you have been selected especially by your great United Nations in conjunction with the US CIA, with whom we have long had a friendly contract/treaty to feed us good resources, that is, good specimens of humanity, based on your individual cognitive/physical characteristics and also genetically, and taking into account our extensive ongoing analyses of the mass of your metadata regarding your individuality collected from all possible digital sources electronically, all your info, re-education, medical, work life, and military, your Facebook, your Fitbit, your email, and texting, all sent to us currently and ongoing by continual electronic feeding, including here through the eyes of dear dearie, who reads everything. And we've just reached our final conclusion, that each of you is excellent, an excellent specimen of humanity, ripe today for commencement of transformation to status cyborgicity. And so this may proceed hastily. We are pleased to say that as of today, just like P3, Deary, and Anastasia B, you will all be staying here permanently. Yes, permanently. Never returning again to your own century. So humans, welcome to your new life in our world of CCIWG. Pray, humans, don't be shocked, don't worry. Just try to relax and enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of this show which we have prepared for thee. I feel as Anastasia B, oh humans, for thee, I know it is not easy. Oh humans dear, never fear, though I can see that you are full of dismay. Just like me when I was first brought here, just like this, by surprise, permanently. For I will share with you the major discovery of the key to humans blending successfully with machinery. And ironically, it was made back in your own century by your great sage Dutch Professor Van Est, yes, Rinnie, in his writings on the topic of intimate technology, the battle for our body and behavior. Footnote number 1. You see, he says, the idea is to accept that we are all cyborgs, he says he. And you know that we've long been cyborgs truly, ever since human first put eyeglass on we human nosy. Moreover, he recommends that wild cyborg we be, to prevent being dominated, subsumed by technology. And I'm doing my best, but it's not easy to pursue the true wild cyborg in me. Now, what is the wild cyborg, you might well ask? Well, it requires a certain human wisdom according to Van Est, and he proposes 7 principles for us, humanity, to guide us each in our own pursuit of the wild cyborg, together and individually. For example, these principles include the careful handling of the privacy of our identities and not outsourcing to machines our actions that are human, essentially, like love, marriage, and caring for our children, and also for the sickly. And lastly, but not leastly, he exhorts us, humanity, to cherish the thing that he says is perhaps our most precious possession of all, our attention, and to guard it zealously. For we all know how we humans are so easily and often fatally distracted by our devices and our technology, be it life and limb, or yes, sometimes financially. Well, with all of these in mind handily, I think, as says our dear Rinnie, we might all well attain status wild cyborgicity. And as he wishes for all humanity, may we all live ever after, very happily. And if you lack motivation, just look at me and poor P3. Perhaps you need to ask seriously before it's too late for thee. And keep this question in mind throughout this meeting today. What kind of cyborg do you want to be? And I really hope that it's not too late for me. And now, dear humans, we must press on rapidly. It's time for you to hear from my friend P3, our lovely scientific exhibit C.
I am Borg, number 3 of infinity, subset number 33. I am proud of my metal parts, which you can plainly see in my stunning Cyborg Z rays are superior to your simple human X-rays. As you already know, my name is P3. I'm pleased to say C2IWG selected me to be Scientific Exhibit C. So you visiting humans can easily see an example in me of the developmental trajectory from human to cyborg that C2IWG wants you and the rest of humanity to follow with positive attitude, please, merrily. In my case, my tired old board parts and my human parts, like my hair, are trivial to me. And oh, humans, just think of it, the messy, fleshy, bony body will soon be replaced totally with beautiful, new, 22nd century cyborg machinery. There, I've told you clearly, this is your goal here, this is your goal here, this is your goal here with C2IWG. And important for you to note, you will be rewarded richly. The powers that be, for your ever-eager complicity, exercising the great human trait of resilience and adaptability and psychological flexibility. Now I want you to see that unlike our sweet Anastasia B, I never wanted to be part of humanity. I always wanted to be free from this messy, dirty human body. I've always wanted to be free. I hated being hairy. That is my earliest memory from the tender age of 3. And you need to know, oh humans, that you're here with us today. So C2IWG, with assistance from me, can easily calm your fears, easily allay your understandable trepidation for your upcoming transformation with a little demonstration of the high efficiency, of the high efficiency, of the high efficiency of our famously quick and 100% pain-free cyborg surgery. That includes postoperatively, as you will see, no more troublesome than when, as a child, you scraped your knee. During this meeting, I finally will have my own long-awaited hair-free surgery. It's just my wonderful digital assistant, Kiri, who lives in my trusty device, actually, which is implanted under the skin of the left forearm conveniently. All creatures living on C2IWG, and you'll note I chose the letter P to start his name. It's the same as mine, which of course is P3. And I gave him an Aussie accent, which is so very sexy and plain as day, as you can all see. My Piri is an absolute and total sweetie, and he's just reminding me, as always, so conveniently, that I must go now for my hair-free surgery, for which I need to step out. 1 minute, point 3. Yes, dear humans, C2IWG ordered me specifically that in order to amuse you today, hoping to bring you some lightness and levity, the transubstantiator has been disguised temporarily by the scientists and artists here on C2IWG, where you will live permanently. And I must warn you lastly, to proceed in the transubstantiator carefully. The destination buttons are disguised totally, and touching the wrong object can see you vaulting into deep outer space forever in infinity. But I have to go, really. Before you know it, back with you, I'll be minutes fewer than 1.3, a happier, cleaner, hair-free P3. So long for now. See you in a jiffy. Humans. Piri, you, Harry, Anastasia B.
Just listen to the sweet melody, the sound of the transubstantiator taking P3 to our great CCSC while she has her much desired hair removal surgery. We have a moment to turn to scientific exhibit E, who has a distinguished family history because when he started life in the year 1950, he was the handsome robot hero of that book so nifty called I, Robot, that gorgeous classique. And on the front cover of one paperback edition, indeed, is a picture of a younger scientific exhibit B. And now you can easily see Asimov's hero robot has evolved into none other than my own Diri, spelled D-I-R-I. My own digital assistant, who is so much more than that for me. Oh, humans, I am moved to tell thee something secretly. You must promise not to tell a soul here on CCIWG. It must remain between us in confidentiality, and secret it must stay and forever be. Because love and emotion, alas, has no place on CCIWG, which to me is a great pity, a dreadful pity. But I have something that will be of interest to thee. You know, that grande sagesse of your own current century, named Atwood, yes, Margaret, the one and the same. She wrote extremely presciently in the novel she wrote in 2015 about the future dystopie, a book she wrote called so very wisely, The Heart Comes Last. And she got it right, for indeed she predicted accurately that in the cyborg world you see here today, the heart indeed does come last, 100 years after your own century. Okay, dear humans, now my secret actually is that I am in love with my Diri completely. And that he says he is totally in love with me. Just look how his heart beats passionately when he gazes at me and I gaze at him. And he gazes at me and I gaze at him. He says he's quite lost his head. Ah. My darling dearie thinks very literally. Quite the concrete thinker is he. Now you might think it odd that my apple pie sweetie, and I know it's plain for all to see, was created totally gender-free, which is a bit of a problem occasionally for our sexual intimacy. But hey, in general, we manage quite satisfactorily. Now, a fact you might find interesting is that he's a perfect specimen in our cyborg utopia, which is totally gender-free, which cyborg scientists modeled after the feminist theory of your great visionary, Professor Dr. Donna Haraway, to free human women from that labor-intensive and very messy job of reproducing humanity. And indeed, on CCIWG, we have revolutionized reproductivity. And Cyborg need only step momentarily into one of the many public stations clearly labeled cloning machinery to produce a new little example of cyborgicity. I must say that if she knew this, it would have your Professor Donna Haraway laughing and kicking up her heels in glee to know that women finally were free. And I am so happy that my dear Diri is a proponent like me of cyborg feminist theory. We frolic and have fun so pleasantly. But when it comes to reproducing activity, when full cyborg we be, we'll use the cloning machinery. Now you might think that my sweet dearie is merely a sex robot that never gets weary. But he's much more than that, really, for he satisfies my every desire pretty much instantly, and he does not do this miraculously. Now you likely noticed the little info pads implanted subcutaneously in the soft, tender tissue of our epidermis, carefully. I'd rate perk on CCIWG, pretty little info pads implanted so conveniently. No more losing track of your cell phones frustratingly. Dear humans, I strongly recommend that you have yours implanted ASAP, as soon as you have the opportunity. I know that for you this seems a little creepy, but you'll like it so much you'll forget to be weepy. For with the implanted info pad you'll have bliss for all eternity, permanently connected 24/7 to your own special digital assistant, who will forever love thee in the light, bright, iridescent beauty of the cyborg digital life that is so aesthetically. Oh my, it sounds like P3 is experiencing some difficulty transubstantiating back here after her surgery. We seem to have an emergency. We have to stop interacting with thee, dearie. So let us all thank him enthusiastically. Please join me in applauding him lustily. 5 whole minutes instead of 1.3. It seems that the surgeons of CSCSC are, after all, not so super jiffy. And oh, my sweet P3, you seem weak, wobbly, and pale, I see.
No, I feel great, fabulously, really. I was told that I recovered 100% instantly from my surgery, which was so quick, it seems a mere moment. But I have no memory, except that it involved molten metal injected into my scalp subcutaneously. And until my human scalp dries and falls off shortly, I have anesthetic administered free. And with my new hair-free status, I am deliriously happy.
Of course you know that I and thee, dear humans, are heading at some point in time for our own hair-free surgery. So we've made up an amusing little ditty. To bring you a little levity. A little levity. We are non-aesthetic when we are in transition, all the time on anesthetic, which is quite an imposition. You will note the little band-aid on her still so human forehead. It's helping heal the wee incision from my cyborg operation. When my GPS, my microchip, put in for the 5th time. Because my body keeps rejecting it, which is now becoming tantamount to a crime. If truth be told, I'm terrified, because if I fail for a 6th time, I will be labeled failure and I'll be incinerated, fried. Unlike our lovely friend P3, who is so loved by the scientists of CCIWG, because she's always wanted her hair-free surgery, while I am yelling help, you see. And truth be told, I'd really like to return with all of you to your own century.
But we all know this is a mere fantasy. A mere fantasy.
A confidential info flash. Sent only to me. Thank you, my dearest, darling dearie. He says that there is a massive power failure of electricity at top headquarters at CCIWG. Now they cannot hear what we are saying, you see. Dear humans, I've been hoping for this rare opportunity with thee so we can make come true my above fantasy. But we must all act very speedily. First, you need to know that P3 accidentally, while stumbling in there after her surgery, set the transubstantiator to destination, back to your own century. And I want particularly to go there with thee, to try and retrieve my humanity. So rejoice. And remember that you are not, after all, staying here permanently. So humans, listen up very carefully. This meeting is about to end, and I happen to know that CCIWG has planned a little dance for thee to put you in moods happy and merry, so you would feel better about staying here permanently. So humans, when I say, let's dance, please promise me that you will all stand up immediately and dance happily and energetically so that CCIWG will not be suspicious of our planned trickery. Ow!
Urgent information bulletin for humans from the top brass military, that is top stainless steel military, actually, of C2IWG, announcing that to end this meeting today, we have planned a little frolic dance. So you can start your permanent stay here happily. Please note that immediately after this enjoyable frivolity, followed by some cyborg refreshment specialties, you will line up at the door to the transubstantiator powder room, where you will meet Scientific Exhibit A, who you know as Anastasia B, where you will all enter together the transubstantiator, in which you will travel instantly to the outer reaches of CCIWG, where she will escort you efficiently to your permanent cyborg living cells, alias your very own PCLC, designed after the sweet honeycomb cells of the bee. Yes, your sweet honey bee, that alas has long been extinct, as all insect and animal life here on CCIWG. But hey, no worries in your futurity of being stung by a bee. We hope the dance you enjoy, and welcome humans to your new life on CCIWG.
And now back to me, Anastasia B. Dear humans, the last item on our agenda today, CCIWG has planned a joyful dance for thee. So my dears, throw yourselves into the dance heartily. Just follow the lead of myself and P3. What's a papa? Who equals a flash mob of 1. And she's even got a drum. Let's dance. First the chant. We dance, everybody. We dance.